The Blender Paradox, a manual for the soul. Beneath the restless neon glow of Sao Paulo, I often sit, watching the masses flow past like digital ghosts. We're living in a strange era, one where our material sophistication is inversely proportional to the raw, unrefined state of our souls. Let me share a bitter truth with you, something I call the Blender Paradox. Picture this. You walk into an electronics store and buy a cheap 2-speed blender. Yet, tucked inside the box is a thick, exhaustive manual, translated into 5 different languages, meticulously teaching you how to press on, how to pulse, and how to clean the blade safely. We treat a $30 piece of plastic with absolute caution. And yet, we step into life, this labyrinth of heart-wrenching storms, flesh-tearing losses, and dizzying peaks, with empty hands and a mind that hasn't seen a single line of instruction. Look at Tiago, a typical young professional in the heart of Brazil's financial district. He carries the latest iPhone, masters every hidden algorithm, and controls his entire smart home with a single tap. In the world of tools, he is a god. But then, on one rain-slicked afternoon, the woman he loves says goodbye. Or perhaps his boss hands a promotion to someone else. In an instant, that god shatters. Tiago collapses. He has no idea what to do with the ache gnawing at his chest. He has no language for the silence of his own isolation. He owns the world's most advanced tools, yet he is a pathetic amateur at the one thing that matters, being human. This is the tragic irony of our existence. We spend our lives learning to operate the world around us, while leaving our internal operating system obsolete, cluttered with the emotional wreckage of our past. Nearly 2,000 years ago, Epictetus, a man who broke his physical chains with the sheer power of his mind to become history's greatest Stoic, delivered a cold, hard warning: living is an art. And like any art, it demands discipline, rules, and a relentless state of awareness. If you don't take the time to study the art of living, you aren't actually living. Instead, you're just a commodity being used by life until you're worn out, tossed between chaotic emotions, puppeted by social expectations, and crushed under the weight of empty illusions. So, I have to ask, are you the one behind the wheel? Or are you just a sleeping passenger on a bus hurtling toward the edge of your own abyss? The answer depends entirely on one thing. Do you have the courage to open the internal manual that Epictetus left behind? Happiness is a verb, the myth of the destination. We are living in an era of phantom hunters. Just look around you, from the bustling malls of Rio to the glass and steel skyscrapers of Sao Paulo. People are frantically chasing a ghost they call happiness. They treat it like a buried treasure, a stroke of destiny, or a trophy waiting to be handed over. But today, I stand before you to reveal a truth as brutal as it is mysterious. The happiness you are searching for does not exist as a noun. Humanity's fatal error is turning happiness into a destination, a thing to be attained once the wedding bells ring, once the beach house is bought, or once the bank account hits 7 figures. But through the piercing eyes of Stoic philosophy, Epictetus saw a different reality. He taught us that happiness is a verb. It isn't a static state of being. It is a dynamic, continuous flow of moral action and radical awareness. Let me take you away from the city noise, deep into the arid yet vibrant heart of rural Brazil. There, in a small woodworking shop thick with the scent of cedar, lives a man named Seu Jorge. Jorge isn't a millionaire. He doesn't wait for his paycheck at the end of the month to permit himself a smile. His secret is etched into his calloused hands. When Jorge planes a piece of wood, he isn't just working. He is happying every single second. He finds a profound fulfillment in the sharpness of the blade, in his absolute honesty with the grain of the wood, and in the simple nod he gives to a dusty child passing by his window. For Jorge, happiness is doing, not having. Without even knowing it, he has touched the very core of Stoicism. Happiness is the masterful practice of virtue in the absolute present moment. If you're sitting in a gridlocked traffic jam in the middle of Brasilia, muttering to yourself, "I'll only be happy once I get home," then I have some bad news for you. You will never truly touch it. Because if you cannot find the presence of happiness right now, amidst the exhaust fumes and the blaring horns, through the mastery of your own mind and patience, then the peace of getting home will be nothing but a fleeting shadow. And soon enough, you'll be starving for the next noun. Happiness isn't the reward at the end of the road, it is the way you walk it. Stop waiting for life to hand you a gift. Start performing the act of living happily with this very breath. Are you ready to stop waiting and start doing? Isolation is hell, but solitude is a sanctuary. Amidst the thundering drums of carnival in Rio de Janeiro, where millions of dancing feet and kaleidoscopic costumes seem to swallow the very sky, I once caught a glimpse of the loneliest eyes in the world. It is a cruel secret of the soul. You can stand in the middle of the most electric crowd on the planet and still feel like you are plummeting into a bottomless abyss. What? Because we have confused two polar opposites. Isolation is hell, but solitude is a sanctuary. Look at Fernanda. She's a high-powered executive at a multinational in Sao Paulo. Her days are a relentless blur of Zoom calls, pinging emails, and extravagant galas. But the real tragedy begins when the laptop screen goes dark and the city lights begin to dim. In the suffocating stillness of her penthouse, Fernanda feels a creeping terror. She fears the silence, because in that silence she finds no one. There is no one at home to talk to. This is isolation. It is a devastating internal void where you become a stranger to yourself. Isolation has nothing to do with how many people are around you. It has everything to do with how long ago you abandoned your own soul. Now contrast that with Paulo. Let me take you to a tiny wooden cabin perched high in the Mantiqueira Mountains. Paulo is a writer who has spent the last week without internet, without a phone. From the outside, you might pity his loneliness. But inside that room, a festival is raging. Paulo isn't alone. He is dating great ideas, dancing with profound thoughts, and engaging in a deep, vibrant dialogue with his own being. This is solitude. It is a state of wisdom and immense power. Paulo is whole because he is with the best friend he could ever have, himself. Stoicism teaches us a haunting paradox. The further you go inward, the deeper you connect with the world outside. If you are hollow on the inside, every relationship you have is just a desperate attempt to use others to fill your own fear. But when you build a fortified inner self, you don't step into the world to beg for validation. You step out to bestow your presence. Don't let yourself become another Fernanda, miserable in silk and lace, running from yourself up a gilded ladder of vanity. Learn to close the door to the world so you can open the door to your soul. Have you ever truly sat down, poured a cup of coffee, and smiled at the person staring back in the mirror? If the answer is no, then you are still living in the hell of isolation, no matter how loud the crowd around you may be. The circle of control, the key to radical serenity. Do you know what is truly imprisoning you? What leaves you exhausted and shattered at the end of every long day? It's not the crushing pressure of your job, and it's not the toxic people in your life. Your true jailer is the illusion of power. We are living in a collective fever dream called control, a state where we desperately try to bend the entire world to our will, only to collapse when reality slaps us in the face. But today I'm handing you an ancient key, a secret that Epictetus used to keep his soul free, even while his body was in chains: the circle of control. Imagine a sun-drenched afternoon at a villa on the outskirts of Brasilia. You've spent months, and a small fortune, planning a magnificent outdoor anniversary party. Everything is perfect. That is, until dark clouds roll in and a tropical downpour erupts, washing away every bit of your preparation. In that moment, I want you to see two versions of yourself. The first person screams, curses the sky, and feels that destiny is cruel. They watch their day turn into a muddy disaster with a heart full of bitterness. This person is trying to control nature, something far outside their circle, and as a result, they have surrendered their peace of mind to a rain cloud. But the second person, a true Stoic, stands quietly under the porch. He watches the rain fall, smiles, and says, "The rain is the sky's business. Whether I am happy is mine." He calmly moves the party indoors, lights some candles, and enjoys the rhythm of the rain on the roof as if it were a private symphony. He realizes that public opinion, the weather, the past, or the actions of others are things he has zero authority over. The only thing inside his circle of power is his judgment, his goals, and his reactions. Misery is born the moment we stand at the edge of this circle and reach outward to change the world. You cannot force your boss to be fair. You cannot force an ex to regret. You cannot force the tides of life to stop turning. But you have the ultimate power to decide exactly how those things affect you. Stoics aren't cold, they are masters of internal strategy. They don't waste a single drop of energy on things beyond their reach. Instead of trying to change the world, they change the lens through which they see it. When you pull your energy back into your circle of control, a strange kind of freedom blooms in the middle of the storm. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of your own serenity. Are you ready to drop the chains of illusion and step into your true circle of power? Life is a school, not a battlefield. Have you ever stood frozen in front of a mirror late on a Tuesday morning, feeling a lump of bitterness rise in your throat, asking with a shattered soul, "Why me? Why has destiny cruelly thrown me into these trenches?" We often look at life as a battlefield soaked in blood and tears, where we are nothing but helpless pawns crushed by the gears of injustice and bad luck. But today, let me reveal a haunting truth, a secret code that can flip your entire reality on its head. Life has never been a battlefield. It is, and always has been, a grand university. A place where there are no enemies, only teachers wearing cruel masks. Picture a man named Ricardo, working in a high-rise office in the heart of Sao Paulo. Every day, Ricardo steps into the elevator with the mindset of a soldier heading into war. He's exhausted, guarded, and bitter because he believes he's besieged by the 10 most unbearable co-workers on the planet. One is lazy and dumps work on him. Another is petty and jealous. A third constantly mocks his efforts with biting sarcasm. Ricardo believes he is the victim of a stroke of cosmic bad luck. But from the perspective of a Stoic, I would lean in and whisper something shocking to Ricardo. My friend, those 10 people didn't appear in your life by accident. The universe held a rigorous casting call for the most difficult souls available, and the 10 best candidates were approved and deployed to that exact office, just to serve your growth. Sounds crazy? Not at all. They are the boulders, precisely placed on your path to forge the steel in your soul. Without their laziness, where would you find the opportunity to practice self-reliance and endurance? Without their jealousy, how would you learn the poise to stand tall against public opinion? Epictetus, who turned his life as a literal slave into a song of eternal freedom, never called obstacles problems. He called them homework. When you ask, why is this happening to me? You are shackling yourself to the identity of a weak victim begging for pity. But the moment you change that question to, what is this teaching me? You instantly become a master student. A conscious warrior ready to graduate from the school of resilience. Stop resenting the test and start solving it. Because if you don't learn the lesson now, life, the most patient and persistent teacher of all, will simply enroll you in another class with assignments even more brutal until you finally get it. So what's it going to be? Will you keep complaining on your imaginary battlefield? Or will you choose to smile, take the lesson, and walk out of this school as a champion? Amor Fati, loving the fire that consumes you. Let me reveal a supreme code used by the masters of the soul. A concept that, if truly understood, will turn you into an entity that cannot be defeated by any storm life throws your way. It is Amor Fati, the love of one's fate. Most of us are taught to accept adversity as a form of passive endurance. But Stoicism doesn't stop there. Acceptance is passive. Love is a fierce act of will. Epictetus, and later Marcus Aurelius, didn't view betrayals, illnesses, or financial ruins as boulders blocking the path. They saw them as fuel, the purest fuel for the fire of the soul. A small flame is blown out by the wind, but a great inferno devours everything thrown into it to burn brighter than ever before. Look at Lucas, a young man with the vibrant blood of Brazil pulsing through his veins, who once saw sprinting as his only reason for living. A horrific accident on the streets of Rio tore his legs away, and in that instant Lucas's world shattered into 1,000 jagged pieces. He had every reason to curse the world, to drown in bitterness and self-pity for the rest of his days. But in the hollow darkness of that hospital room, Lucas heard the whisper of Amor Fati. He didn't just choose to survive. He chose to love the very event that took his legs. Lucas began to see his carbon fiber prosthetics not as symbols of what he lost, but as the wings of a new version of himself, stronger, more resilient, more profound. He became a Paralympic athlete, conquering peaks his able-bodied self never even dreamed of. Lucas loved that cruel destiny because he realized, without that tragic fall, he would have remained a mediocre athlete forever, and his soul would never have known the true power of rebirth. This is the alchemy of the soul, turning lead into gold, turning agony into power. When you say yes to everything that happens, you disarm fate itself. Destiny is no longer your enemy. It becomes your mentor, your most loyal partner in carving out your true self. Stop merely enduring the scars of life. Kiss them. Love your bitterest failures, for they are the protective shell around the great seed waiting to bloom. Are you ready to stop fighting reality and start loving every breath, every wound, and every jagged turn of your fate? Remember, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Be the architect, not the slave of habit. Stop for a moment. Stand still amidst the frantic rush of Paulista Avenue or the sun-drenched shores of Rio, and answer one honest question. Who is the person staring back at you in the mirror every morning? Is that your original soul? Or is it just an obsolete copy, molded by algorithms and social prejudices? There is a quiet, haunting truth gnawing at humanity. We aren't actually living. We're just running a pre-installed social software. We scroll through Instagram, binge-watch the latest hits, and then, without even realizing it, we start borrowing our laughter, our anger, and even our grief from the hollow ghosts on our screens. We've lost the ability to design our own essence. We've become loyal puppets of habit. Look at Andre. He's a brilliant architect in Sao Paulo, yet he is a miserable slave in the house of his own soul. Every time he explodes in a senseless rage at his wife or his coworkers, Andre just shrugs it off. Oh, I'm just hot-headed because I'm a typical Capricorn. The stars decided it. Or when he procrastinates on his biggest dreams, he comforts himself by saying, I'm only lazy because of my family genes. It's hardwired. I can't change it. Andre, like millions of others, is using labels, from astrology to genetics, as a shield to dodge the ultimate responsibility, the responsibility of self-creation. This is the ultimate laziness of the soul. Epictetus, a philosopher who was once a literal slave, saw through this 2,000 years ago. He taught us, if you do not build yourself, society will build you in a way that benefits them, not you. You will become just another nameless brick in someone else's wall, instead of the architect of your own cathedral. The solution to this mystery lies in a single radical act. Stop just getting through the day. Pick up a pen and draft the blueprint for the greatest version of yourself. Who do you want to be when faced with betrayal? Who do you want to be in the face of success? Write it down. Make it your own personal law. And start mimicking that model immediately, even if you have to act the part for the first few days. Nature abhors a vacuum. If you leave a void in your mind, society will fill it with the trash of meaningless habits. Don't be a piece of driftwood tossed around by the crowd. Be the captain. Lay the first stone of your own character. Do you want to be a software program to glitch? Or do you choose to be the supreme architect of your own destiny? The time to start isn't tomorrow. It is this very breath. Memento Mori, the ultimate filter of truth. In the ancient, shadowed corners of Salvador or amidst the electric pulse of Rio, an ancient whisper echoes in the wind, a secret code used by the Stoic masters to unlock the power of the present. Memento Mori. Remember, you will die. Does that sound grim? Threatening? It's quite the opposite. This isn't a death sentence. It's a symphony designed to wake up souls sleeping in the cradle of mediocrity. In Stoic philosophy, death isn't an enemy waiting at the end of a long, distant road. It is a reality walking right behind you, just a single breath away. It doesn't come to spread fear. It comes to act as the ultimate filter. It strips away the emotional trash, the vanity, and the noise, leaving behind only one thing: the truth. Imagine a scene so common it's almost cliché. You're boiling with rage, your heart is pounding, and your face is flushed because that neighbor, again, parked his beat-up car right across your driveway. You're ready to storm out there, ready to hurl the most poisonous insults to demand justice. But right then, let me lean in and whisper a haunting hypothetical. If this were the very last week you would ever exist on this planet, would you spend even 1 second caring about that neighbor? The answer is always a deafening, soul-searching silence. Of course not. You wouldn't waste a single drop of your precious time screaming about a car in a driveway. Instead, you'd run to embrace the people you love. You'd watch the sunset with a reverence you've never felt before. You'd forgive every petty grievance. So why, right now while you are still alive, are you surrendering your most valuable asset, your time, to meaningless arguments and cheap resentments? The cruelest paradox of being human is that we behave as if we're immortal when it comes to trivial things, yet we fear death as if it were some tragic, unexpected insult. We squander our time on gossip and anxiety over what others think, as if we have 1,000 years to make it right. Memento Mori is the microscope that shows you exactly what is pure gold and what is just dust in your life. Time is the only asset without a return ticket, and death is the most honest debt collector you'll ever meet. Live with the urgency of someone racing against the final sunset. Don't let the darkness fall only to realize you spent your entire life angry over trifles instead of building a magnificent soul. Are you ready to turn every single moment into a glorious chapter of your own epic? Remember, you don't have forever. What? Right now. The final verdict: rotten wood or tempered steel. Listen closely to the cold hiss of time as it grinds against your skin and your soul. In the flickering shadows of an ancient forge, where the sparks of destiny fly with every brutal rotation, I want you to look deep into a supreme truth. This life is a massive whetstone. It is cold, indifferent, and absolutely devoid of compassion. It doesn't care who you are, whether you are rich or poor. Its only mission is to spin and create friction. And here lies the greatest mystery of human existence. Under the exact same pressure, the same pain, the same grinding force. Why are some crushed into nameless dust, while others emerge sharp, brilliant, and as legendary as a mythical blade? The answer isn't in the whetstone, it's in the material you are made of. Imagine stepping into life with the soul of rotten wood, the kind that relies on luck, lives in mental laziness, and is decayed in will. The moment you strike adversity, you will shatter. You will vanish into the void, leaving no trace, nothing but a shadow of an existence. But if you choose to forge yourself into high-tempered steel, hardened by the fires of knowledge and self-mastery, then every scar life leaves behind becomes a razor-sharp edge. You aren't being worn down, you are being perfected into a masterpiece of a human being. But be careful, my friends in Brazil, in Vietnam, and across the globe. Do not fall into the sweet trap of procrastination. Never mutter to yourself, "I'll start my practice on Monday," "I'll live with virtue when I have enough money," or "I'll master my mind once this storm passes." Monday is a ghost that never arrives. And money is nothing but lifeless numbers if your soul has already died from within. The art of living isn't a luxury item you buy when you're comfortable. It is your breath, it is your heartbeat, it is the only weapon you have to keep from being swallowed whole by this world. Do not let the day come when you close your eyes for the last time, only to look back and see a long string of days spent surviving in fear and compromise. Choose to truly live a magnificent life guided by virtue and stoic courage. Let the world remember that right here in this very moment, a great piece of steel passed over the whetstone of destiny and became sharper and more radiant than ever before. So, are you rotten wood? Or are you tempered steel? The wheel is already spinning, and the answer belongs to you.